because I'm so busy here, but I'm going to go to El Salvador soon. This guy gets up and gives a speech at CPAC and says the New World Order, George Soros plan is to have all these gangs and all these criminals defund the police because they really work for them. And then they're going to start assassinating all of the populist leadership. And then they're going to confiscate all your property and take over. And everything he's saying is true. This is a formula. This is a takeover formula. And the point is, he's talking about the New World Order, the globalists, their plan to take down America. And you're like, well, we already know all that. Yeah, now it's presidents of countries that have completely done 180s. Or the most dangerous country in the world, the second safest in the world. The safest in this hemisphere. So, Chicago's homicide rate is over 50 times El Salvador's. And the guy is basically Alex Jones, but very well spoken and eloquent. And then I've got all these other leaders around the world that say the same thing, because it's true. And once you identify it, it's game over. Remember Pelosi said it's all God's children, MS-13? They're a bunch of young street kids they get, brainwashed, have them commit murders, and then they got corporations and groups that love them through their gang leaders that control them. That way there's plausible deniability when they go out and kill people. And remember what the head of the RNC in Arizona told Terry Lake?
2, 1.
He said, well, if you don't take the money, you can be in danger by this East Coast crew. We think that is Soros. He's the front. And she goes, what do you mean? He goes, well, you know, the Latin Americans. That's how Mexico has controlled things. Only a few families doing that. Cartels work for them. The CIA is heavily involved. That's declassified. They're doing the same thing they've done around the world to take control. This is how communists take you down in the first phase. Then they get the gangs under control later. Or a country never gets under one group's control. It goes in flux back and forth like El Salvador for 50 years with civil war after civil war. Let me tell the New World Order something. You're not going to get some quick commie takeover with crime gangs and stuff. People already see that's happening. You're going to get civil wars, which they want. That's their plan to be. They'd rather have a full takeover. So the knowledge level, the knowledge base is accelerating so fast that I am approaching obsolescence. I'll still give you over the horizon analysis. I'm still going to stay on air. I still have important contributions, but I've always known for 30 years, and I've said it on air. 30 years in April. 2 months, month and a half. That my vision, my understanding of this would be to prepare everyone, and that if we simply put the truth out, then once the New World Order made its move, it'd be so obvious when the planet so seeds that what is now happening is happening. I mean, look at the dream team we got. All the top talk show hosts around the world are anti-globalists. All these new leaders getting elected
You're lucky I'm in a good mood. I'm giving you a warning, but I'll be
Populism is surging. The New World Order admits they're in crisis mode. The World Economic Forum has a big meeting and says, oh my God, everybody hates us. We've got to get your trust back, and then comes out with the same crap again. I'm just telling you, the listeners of this show are seen by the globalists rightfully as the detonator. Imagine, this is a non-violent analogy, but it's an analogy using kinetic energy. So I'm not calling for this, the media will spin it. This broadcast was 5 pounds of plastic explosive inside the munitions factory of the New World Order. And this broadcast in the last 30 years, in slow motion, 30 years is a twinkle of an eye, detonated, and now the entire structure is chain reaction blowing up in a huge mushroom cloud in front of us. So you get little bumper stickers, little stickers you put on gas pumps with Biden pointing and saying, I did that. Well, you can have this broadcast, I guess symbolized by me with pointing at the New World Order and showing them collapsing and saying, I did that, you did that. Now look, we're far from out of the woods because these guys are destructive. They may take us all down with them. That's why the quicker they get removed, the better. And I'm saying that to large sections of the establishment. It's a minority, but a large section, some of the substrata, and also managers of the globalist system. You can see this isn't working. You know, I use the analogy of Hitler, of the historical parallel. In 1943, in late 43, The German staff, they were Nazis, they loved conquest, they were bad guys, but they knew they were going to lose. Because they would go into Russian tank factories and